creating higher and elevated emotions and anchor it. This is part 3 of a video series regarding higher emotions and how you really create them, because that always sounds so easy, just create higher emotions. But we all know, who are really advanced students and starting with the work and with our journey, that it's not always that easy. So this is why I thought about it's absolutely crucial that you also get the point of anchoring that higher emotions. What do I mean with that? You can think of it, yeah, when you're doing meditations, or you just being in the present moment, you are swimming, you are do whatever you love. Yeah, you live your life. The point is, and why this is so crucial that you understand this, is you can think about it like an treasure box. Yeah, a treasure box of emotions, a treasure box of higher emotions, yeah, of higher feelings. Why is this so important? It's completely logical also, yeah. If you manage and master the not the experience, yeah, also the experience, but the skill, it's a skill. When you master the skill of anchoring also your higher emotions, then you have some kind of box. You are just, if you need it, you go there, open it, and you close it if you like. Yeah. This is why it's so important not just to create, as I mentioned in the videos part 1 and 2, to create higher and elevated emotions. It's also so important that you anchor that higher and elevated emotions in your system. Yeah. What could that really down to earth mean? Of course, you can make a meditation as example from Dr. Joe Dispenza or from whatever other teacher you like. You make a meditation, a trance, or whatsoever, and in this meditation you dive into the field of possibilities, into the quantum field. You dive into, and there you create a higher and elevated emotion. So, when you already have done a lot of meditations, or you just started it, the point of this is, in the meditation, it's absolutely clear you really experiencing that. But when you go out of the meditation, it could be that you feel, okay, and where is it now gone? So that this is not happening all the time. Yeah, it's absolutely crucial to understand that you need to anchor that higher emotion into your body, into your system, into your nervous system, your hormone system, your chakras, into your system. So that means, as example, when you do meditations, yeah, and this is my experiences, yeah, this is really all my experiences, how I recognize that and how I observed that during all my mentorings, yeah. You go into the meditations and then you recognize something, a nice feeling, a feeling which feels good, and higher elevated emotion. And now you take that one moment to really recognize and anchor that feeling. You recognize, where does this feeling arise? Maybe in the neck, yeah, in your spine, maybe in your brain, maybe around on your brain, your body, wherever. But you try to recognize and sustain that remembering. where that happens. Yeah, and this could mean everywhere from body to body mind system, somewhere in your field, in your auric field. So you remember how does that feels. And when I say feel here, I don't mean your tasting and hearing and seeing, because you won't see it. Yeah, you will not recognize it with your normal sense, let's call it. You will recognize it as observer, yeah, as consciousness. So as consciousness, you will recognize where in your body system, in your system, where this occurs and how does it feels. You remember how does it feels, and you really take these moments also in meditation to remember how does that feel. And this is somehow, of course, this is energetical, yeah, this is energetical. This could be, I give you some examples for that. Yeah, it could feel like energy is winding up your spine. It could feel like it's spreading in your brain, it's spreading in your body, it's flowing. It could feel like it's maybe somewhere stuck. It could feel warm, it could feel cold, it could, everything is possible, yeah? So this is why it's so important not just to now think of it like this is what I am saying and you need to recognize it and observe it the same. No, you are feeling and observing it like you are feeling and observing it. Nobody else in the world, not even the greatest teacher or guru in the world, can tell you how you are recognizing it. This is so important, and this is so important just when others are telling you their experience. It's so important that you take this, of course, as inspiration, but not as comparison, because maybe you completely different recognize it in your system. Okay? This was the example of meditation, but this is not the end. Yeah, this is just the beginning. And with meditation, I now meant sitting somewhere in a room or lying down somewhere in a room. I guess close your eyes or make it some kind of So this classical way of meditation, let's say, yeah. But always keep in mind, when I say meditation, I not just mean sitting, closing eyes and make the genie. It's like everything. Remember this always. Everything can be a meditation. It's just about how much focus and how much consciousness you give into a present moment. It's just about your focus, yeah? Energy flows where your intention goes. You know that, yeah? So that means everything in your life can be a meditation. And why is this so important? Because that means now you don't need to wait for a meditation. As example, as I meant, sitting down, closing eyes. You don't need to wait for that. Every time during your day, when you recognize nice, elevated, higher emotions, and you will recognize them, it can be that they are often triggered from outside, but don't mind about that at first, yeah? If you are recognizing a nice feeling, a good feeling, feeling good, open your heart, feeling somewhere in your spine, in your brain, in your chest, wherever. Take a moment when you recognize this experience, this feeling inside your body-mind system, in your energy centers. Take a a moment to anchor that in your system and take a moment to remember that feeling, remember that higher emotion. Okay, where does it happen? Okay, here. Okay, how is it feeling? This is a little bit tricky at the beginning, yeah, when you start with that. But it's getting easier and easier and easier the more often you do this, yeah. And it also don't takes time, basically. It's basically really just closing your eyes for 1 second. It's the duration of one breath. You don't need more. And you can do this everywhere you are going. At the bank, at your job, at the swimming pool, at your travels, when you're talking with somebody. Yeah, they maybe look at you some kind of, huh? He's closing now the eyes. Anyhow, this is really in a blink of a moment. You can anchor that feelings and higher emotions into your system and you remembering them. And this is so important. Why? Because at the end, if you want to see it also like a goal, yeah, you need, a goal, yeah, for awakening or conscious living. At the end, you don't want to meditate in a way that, okay, I'm meditating. I'm sitting 2-3 times a day in a position, closing my eyes and creating higher emotions. This is not the end goal, yeah, in my opinion, at least, yeah. The final intention should be, for me, this is the most wonderful way of meditating which is possible, yeah. It is not at the end then so that you are meditating, sitting there, closing eyes, doing meditation. It's like you are more and more and more and more meditating 24/7. Do you get that? You are meditating 24/7. This is more or less the intention which could also inspire you, because then you are living the day and you already remembered and anchored so many higher emotions in your system that it's not like that you need to go sit somewhere and close your eyes to create it. You're just doing whatever you want. You are cutting the onions, higher emotion of oneness. You are going to the school and take your children from there. During the car drive, oneness. Do you get it? You're in your job, you are make coachings, you are going somewhere, and you just feeling oneness. It's in a blink of an eye, you can activate these higher emotions if you before already stored them and anchored them and remembered them within your system. And this is the point where you really start to meditate with everything around you. You're basically always in a kind of meditating consciousness, but not like you closing your eyes. You're just feeling this feeling of oneness, or joy, or love, or evidence all the time. Keep that in mind. Yeah. Hope that inspires you. All the best.